Alrighty, so since there seems to be somebody who has a call for this, we're going to do a few more Mighty Max reviews. More of the horror headsets with the Droid Invader and Nuke Ranger, today at Guerrilla Reviews. Okay, as we look at these two, we see some, well, there's a bit of a similarity in their design here. Very technological here, whereas the Droid Invader is obviously has significantly more robotic components, whereas this one is more of a biohazard suit, but you do get the idea here. Although, if I had a biohazard mask on and I had yellow bloodshot eyes, I'd probably be very concerned for myself. Okay, let's open these two up. Okay, as we open up the Droid Invader set, here we have the Droid Invader themselves. Very basic articulation with just the legs being able to move. We also have this mega brain here. A little odd, but hey, it works. And there we have Max in the middle there. And again, very small set. Obviously, you need a fair amount of imagination to make this something like this work out for you, but if you needed something that fit in your pocket, it certainly did the job. Moving on to the Nuke Ranger. Here we have some Dayglow skeletons on the top there. That's never a good sign. So now remove this, and we have a sort of flying base with the Nuke Ranger themselves, and Max in a nuclear reactor. Huh. Well, that's the only place they could put him. As the Nuke Ranger himself, you can kind of sit him right here in this. It's strange, but you can do it. And for Max, you can also ride it like so. Nope. Granted, he doesn't stay in very well. Yeah, that's small but effective. And relatively well priced compared to the larger sets. They're at least easier to find, especially in package. So if that excites you, there you go. Now, at this point I would be signing off, but since I want to give you a little bit more since it was pretty short, we have the Skull Dungeon Doom Zone and the Man-Eater Doom Zone, which we're going to cover now. Yay. Taking a good look at the Skull Dungeon, it's pretty easy to see where they got that name from. So now, the jaw actually does have a bit of articulation here. A little strange, but hey, it's something. Man-Eater doesn't have much you can do, but man, that is some detail on that thing, isn't it? And you can definitely see where they got the name from. Oh yes, indeed. Okay, opening up the Skull Dungeon set itself, we see what is effectively a Frankenstein's lab here, with a hunchback for the Doctor, Frankenstein's monster, and Max, with looks to be a wrench. Weird, but hey, that's how these things go sometimes. So now these parts right here, these Tesla coils, are removable, so they can also be something that you can miss. There are a lot of sets who are missing parts with these, so that can be a bit of an issue. As for additional components, there's a secret trap door here, doesn't go to anywhere, obviously, and a secret door to the library part, to a dungeon with a accompanying skeleton and a private study. The bed does raise up and down, and there is a switch that you can flip, if that excites you. As usual, the articulation on the figures is very limited, just the legs for both the Hunchback and the monster, and nothing for Max himself. But still, it's more a matter of the charm of this set itself, and what you can do with your imagination. And there is some pretty impressive paint on this, but so at least you have that. And it's definitely something worthwhile, especially if it's complete. Okay, moving on. Now we have the Man-Eater set here. Again, we have the, 3/4 of a shark anyway. Opening it up here, we see a bizarre underwater scene here. We do have a few more accessories. If we open up the fin here, we have something of a manta ray flight capable device, which Max can fit onto here. We also have some sort of ship. So if we open up, we see a couple of large squids, well, cephalopods anyway, and a Cthulhu-esque individual inside of a controlled chamber, and a very small harpoon gun, I'm guessing. What's interesting is that you do have some options here. You can either have this top part as the set, or you can fold this down and have more of a cave setting, depending on what you're into. Obviously, with all these, there can be missing parts. I've seen a lot of these sets on Etsy that say do not complete and mention what's missing. If you can find these complete, that's your best option. They aren't that difficult to find. It just depends on what you're willing to pay. So you may have to do a little bit of shopping to find what you're looking for. And as for articulation, nothing to speak of. That can imagine because they did this little thing. Because these cephalopods have no articulation. This guy or in Max have no articulation. So basically, you're just getting a very impressive play set with no articulated figures. But then again, this was the 90s. What could you really expect at that point in time? Well, that wraps up this review. These have been more Mighty Max sets. I'm the Deceptiwolf, and I gotta remind you all, free your mind, free your toys.